Today we're revisiting masking, this time with a focus on radiators, with a scalable method that I've been using for about 3 years now. As you can see, it's pretty straight cuts with no rulers, and if you have shaky hands, that's also fine as well. I'm always looking to bring value to the DIY community with these videos, so I did some YouTubing. There isn't much videos on scalable, efficient methods in this particular niche, and I do have a couple good ones to share. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Alright, let's jump right into it. The scalable part is the radiator. You can do this with a 360, 420, a 480, 520, 560, so on and so forth. 3M tape, as you've seen there, and of course your very sharp hobby grade X-Acto makes it a little bit easier for the edges so that you don't scratch. And then your trusty long nose tweezers. I love these ones. These are my favorites. So let's get them out and let's go ahead and get that guy out of there. We're going to be using the fans and frames, so I should say the fins and frames, for a visual guide here, and make sure you don't fail and rip the tape up into two here as I did. But it's not my usual long nose tweezers. Those are very precision based, but yeah, you want to go ahead and grab two. You're going to need a total of 6 pieces, 2 for the sides and then 4 for the center, going vertical, and then going horizontal you're going to need 2 smaller pieces here. So you're going to be using the visual edges here. Let's take a listen. Shaky hands, and let's take a listen. Cuts like butter. See, I'm just letting the hand kind of drive itself. I'm not putting any kind of pressure. Get your tweezers and get that out of there, and we'll be doing this for the second part as well here. Again, kind of rub it in a little bit on there, and again, you're just driving it slowly. There's a particular sound that you're looking for, very smooth. If you hear any grinding, stop. You're going to be scratching the edges there. This next part is probably going to be the most that you're going to have to practice with. I've been doing it for a while, but kind of jimmying it in there might be a little bit of a pain, but you're kind of looking to hit the wall there, right at the edge. You kind of see me jimmying it in there. And if you look at the screw holes, you can kind of use that as a visual guide. You want that to be completely covered, and you'll kind of feel the tape kind of fight back. That's how you know you're at the very, very edge. Kind of doing this freestyle, of course. Now I was trying to kind of jimmy this in there, and unfortunately my phone died. I'm using a phone to record everything, so I think that happens here, or yeah, maybe like 5-6 seconds from now. But yeah, I tried to kind of cut in exactly where the video left off. Yeah, it basically dies right here. As you can see, I didn't finish it on purpose, just because I don't want to get that on camera. So we're just going to go through basically where I left off here. You'll see me jimmy it back in there. Let's take a look at that. And like I've showed right before the cutoff there, you want to get your spreader there. Very, very handy tool. And yeah, you want to kind of get in there and make sure it's all seated properly. You can use either side. I think using the side that's padded is even a little bit better, but I didn't have much clearance, so I was just using the side that had the least difficulty with clearance. You'll see me kind of jimmy that. See, it kind of gets caught at the fins a little bit. That's why that tweezer is, and I'm using the long nose there. If you guys notice, it's not the long head, but yeah, it comes in handy. And let's go ahead and do the other side now. So flipping this over, and basically it's the same kind of rigmarole here. We're going to jimmy this in. And again, I'm kind of obstructed by the camera arm there. I'm working on getting better gear so that nothing's on the table. But yeah, you would definitely have a much easier time because you wouldn't have anything in the way. So you want the whole jimmy process, as I call it. As you can see there, the jimmy process there would be a little bit easier for you because you won't have any kind of obstructions in the way. But as you can see, I'll make it through here. We're going to go through here, and yeah, there we go. And again, using that long nose tweezer there. That guy is one of my best tools to use whenever it comes to masking. It's comes very, very handy. And you'll see me use the spreader here again, just to kind of spread everything out, make sure that there's no air gap at the edges there, again, where your fingers basically can't reach. Definitely a great tool. And this last piece here, and let's get that guy in there. You'll see what I mean by 2 for each side and 4 pieces, and you want to kind of stack them. You'll see me here in a moment here, and about 1 to 2 millimeter overlap, and you're basically good to go. In less than 10-15 minutes you can do radiator per. And again, you can do this much faster. I'm on camera and it's not the best setup. Off camera, and you know, if I have a stack of these to do, I can probably do one in about 10 minutes a piece. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the rest taped up here. As you can see, very straight on each edges, and we'll go ahead and get the rest of the tape in there. Again, using the edges. This one's kind of off here. You'll kind of see me move it here. Yeah, and again, you want 1 to 2 millimeter of overlap. Nothing more than that. It's I mean, it's up to you. I think the general rule of thumb is 1 to 3. So you do what you want to do depending on what you're masking up, of course. But yeah, I do about 1 or 2, and there we go. There's the third. That's why I say you'll need 4 for the middle there. Again, that gap is you can, if you're really picky about it, I'm sure you can get away with 3, but yeah, you want to get 4 for the middle there, and there's the 4th one there. Again, the point of this is the freestyle method. It's the incentive to do this without any rulers or any cutting. Dare I say, if that incentive is there for you to do it like this and it's a little bit easier, you're more prone to do it. I don't know, I've read in the forums and some of the ASUS forums, some of the modding forums, Reddit and a few others, that it's kind of a hassle to you know, paint radiators. But let's listen here for a second here. Again, you want to hear the different sound pattern because there's tape stacked on top of each other. So listen. And don't use your fingers here. You'll see why I use the tweezers here. It's a very inefficient way of moving tape. As you can see, it gets stuck, but watch the other side here. Basically, this is the way that you're supposed to be doing it. Just want to show both sides here. On the other side, I'll do it the way that I would normally do it, which is with a tweezer. So here we go. So let's go ahead and cut it. And again, let's take a listen here. Very clean. Different sound pattern. It's a bit thicker because there's tape stack on top, but again, cuts very, very clean. And coming with a tweezer this time. Once I kind of press it all in, and wow, just like that. It's gone. So that's why the tweezers are very, very handy, always. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do one side done here. I think it's about 7 or 8 minutes. Oh, I actually haven't done the other side yet. So this is the horizontal part that I was telling you guys about. So now we'll cut some horizontal pieces here. You just need the 2, and again, we're using the side of the radiator, and shaky hands, of course. I'm just gonna do it at a weird angle, just so you guys can see. Once you get a down pat, the angle doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna be showing it cutting it a little bit weird here that I usually wouldn't cut it. I'm just trying to kind of see. That's what I mean. The camera arm is in the way, so I'm just having difficulty showing you guys. Hopefully that will improve in the upcoming videos. Stay tuned, of course. And here's the last cut here. Perfect. And you'll see we'll be using the same kind of technique here to get these 2 last pieces in there. Again, trying to battle the camera arm there, or the camera leg, I should say, maybe not arm but leg, but yeah, the camera leg there, which is in the way. Believe it or not, that's the best setting for my current situation. But yeah, let's jimmy this in here, which will, there we go. As you can see, it will cover the parts that, you know, it might get a little bit of overspray. Again, it won't be that big of a deal, but you know, if you want to get a perfect mask. As you can see, I kind of struggle with this a little bit. I'm trying to find the best angle to show you guys and also get this in there. Believe it or not, it's a bit difficult with the camera arm being there, but there we go. I think I find the right angle here. There we go, perfect. As you can see, I just want to jimmy it in there, and you can see the tape go over that screw hole. There it is, and that's really what I'm looking for. You want the tape to go over the screw. That's your visual guide, and as you can see, I actually just used my own tip there. Perfect. And let's get this You can do this part, I think I demonstrate both ways. You can do it with a tweezer if that's what you have in your hands, and you can do it with the spreader if that's what you have in your hands. Just yeah, I don't think it's in this masking. I think it might be the other side that I might go over it. But yeah, I show both sides essentially. Sometimes you have difficulty with the one method and you can use the other method. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy in as well. And you'll see I struggled with this a little bit because the tape at the top left side was a bit dented in. So as you can see, I took it off camera just to switch it around because yeah, you want the tape to be it needs to be pristine. They can't be having any jagged edges or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll just yeah. And there is that screw hole again. As you can see, I lined it up and I pressed it down. Don't worry if it's there's like a few bubbles here and there. As long as you press it down tight and you have that 1 to 2 millimeter gap, it's not gonna. And yeah, I believe this is the part where this is a fine example of you might just have issues with the tweezers. And as you can see, I just come in with, you could just do that to begin with. As you can see, I strain it out with the spreader. And that's pretty much it. Again, less than, like the whole editing aside and the demo and all that, I would say, yeah, like less than 10 minutes for a perfect mask on Radiator 360. Again, if you can scale it, 420, 520, 480, 580, 560, I should say, sorry, 560. But and this is just the other side now. I've just time-lapsed this and you'll see I'm having a much easier time with it because I have, like, I'm not really focusing on explaining. It's just, you'll kind of see I kind of shimmy this a lot easier. Even though it looks like it's sped up, it's a lot easier. So there we go. I'm just going to jimmy that in there. And you'll see I'll kind of yank it out there and use the spreader. And same side here. I'll go in there really, really easy. And again, I'll use that same stretch. I'll kind of just yoink and yoink, just so that I know that it's perfect in hitting the walls. You'll see I kind of mess up here, and if you do, don't worry. The tweezer is your best friend. It might take some time for you to get used to using it, but that's not a problem. And again, we'll use the same 4 tape strips here. So 3, and there's the 4th one there. Perfect. I just cut right through. Again, it's fat sped, so makes it look like just one straight cut. And we're going to come in with the horizontals, and that's pretty much it. Even sped up, like even with this last part being sped up, let's say 15 to 16 minutes per radiator, which you can definitely scale. And this is what I was talking about. I was having a lot of difficulty with this last piece here. Yeah, see, it was just not working. So I just, yeah, boom, boom. There you go. Perfectly clean. And I'm gonna have. Stay tuned if you enjoy this. If you're looking for some way for me to improve these videos, please let me know. But yeah, next video will be painting these. I'll be painting 2 of these, so I'm gonna mask one off camera. Thank you if you stayed and watched for this long. I appreciate everyone watching from Canada, US, Germany, India, and I think most of North and South Asia by now. So I'll work on showing some cool analytics on the next videos. But yeah, stay tuned and thank you so much.